Coming up on Eyewitness News Nightwatch, local Cuban Americans demand that trade sanctions against their native country continue. We'll explain why.
And we'll have the latest on a West Bank landfill trying to clean up its act. And we will also hear from the Dukes of Dixieland.
Those stories and lots more next on Nightwatch.
Friends here at WWL Ford Lincoln Mercury 50, you'll like the way we do business because we treat you like you're somebody. And there's no surprises here. The price advertised is the price that you pay. This is the 1992 Ranger Super Cab pickup truck, XLT, air conditioned, one low price, $10,488 after the rebate. Friends, don't wait long, they'll soon be gone. If this emblem is not on your truck,
if you've never tasted the extra goodness of homemade ice cream, then you just have to try new K&B Premium. Made with extra creaminess, extra chunks of chocolate, extra scoops of toasty nuts in 7 extra special flavors. And for a limited time, new K&B Premium is just $1.99 a half gallon at your K&B drugstore, where ice cream as good as homemade is now personally yours.
Scientists marvel at the human body. It's as if it were made to play lotto. Arms, hands, and their fingers are flexible and work machine-like to fill out play slips, while the brain generates 6 numbers in computer fashion. Should the brain malfunction, a real computer stands by to select the numbers. The neck is rubbery. This facilitates non-verbal communication with the sales clerk. Feet are attached to legs and transport the human to a TV set where the amazing eye takes over. It's 9:59 on Saturday night and time for the ritualistic lotto drawing. The eye eagerly awaits. Fingernails are ready for biting. Will the human win $50, $1,500, or will all 6 numbers come up, making the human a millionaire? Normally, the posterior is padded, providing comfort for this event. Unfortunately for winners, the head is not.
WWL-TV Channel 4, New Orleans. From Louisiana's news leader, this is Channel 4's Eyewitness News Weekend.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Hoda Kotb.
And I'm Len Cannon. A heated political issue is on the verge of exploding. It involves communism and a country desperate for food and medicine.
We're talking about Cuba. The U.S. stopped exporting food and medicine to the communist nation, so now thousands are hitting the streets to demand changes. But some New Orleans Cuban Americans say the U.S. must stay tough against the communist dictator. The tune here on Canal Street is one of unity and allegiance, but it's also one of hate. Hate for a man these Cuban Americans call a heartless murderer.
He don't respect any human right in Cuba today.
The U.S. imposed an economic embargo on the communist nation, and these New Orleanians say it should stay that way. They don't want to see the United States making trade deals with a dictator.
The Cuban community in exile cannot and will not tolerate such an activity like this without saying something. And we are condemning that. We are disagreeing with that activity, and we have to boycott that activity.
But these Cuban Americans in New York don't see it that way. They say the U.S. must loosen its economic stranglehold on Cuba. They say children are starving and food lines endless, and the U.S. is to blame.
Free Cuba! Keep Cuba free!
So today, the group Peace for Cuba got their message out, and that is the United States should not impose economic threats on a country with a different form of government than its own.
I believe the United States government has no right to dictate to any government, any place in the world, what they do, including Cuba.
The United States is blockading Cuba. The United States is trying to cause great hardships. They're taking advantage of the surrender of the Soviet Union.
The U.S. is taking a hard line against the communist nation with hopes of restoring human rights. But others say keeping up the trade embargo could end up costing human lives. Some celebrities also came out to encourage the U.S. to lift that trade embargo. Chris Christopherson and Margot Kidder were at the rally.
A New Orleans man was struck and killed by a truck as he walked across the Pontchartrain Expressway tonight. Police say the man was hit by a Chevy truck driven by 53-year-old Lane Allen of Chalmette. The victim was rushed to Mercy Hospital, where he died a short time later. No charges have been filed. The name of the victim has not been released yet. Authorities have released the name of an Orleans Parish criminal sheriff's deputy killed last night. 19-year-old Frederick Gibson was off duty when he was shot to death while walking with a group of friends on Fourche Street. Gibson had worked as a sheriff's deputy for about a year. How many times have we seen a shooting by someone fired from their job? A San Diego man fired from an aircraft plant allegedly shot and killed a company labor representative and seriously wounded his former supervisor. The company recently announced there would be thousands of layoffs. Hoda?
The sluggish economy is creating all kinds of problems for Macy's department stores. Today, the company missed a deadline to pay off some of its creditors. Recent talks of Macy's being purchased by billionaire Lawrence Tisch have ended for the time being. Macy's, which has 251 stores nationwide, lost $155 million last quarter.
Arkansas governor and Democratic presidential candidate Bill Clinton says he will confront the country about his alleged affair tomorrow night on 60 Minutes. He says CBS asked him to appear on the show to talk about many issues.
How do you feel about these rumors? Do you think they're being a big detriment to the campaign at this point?
Nope.
No? Why then do you feel the need to go on 60 Minutes if you feel that this isn't going to hurt your campaign too?
Well, they asked us to go on.
They asked you?
They said they wanted us to come on, and they said they wanted to discuss far more than that.
Clinton supporters cheered him on today as he arrived in Washington, D.C. to talk to the Rainbow Coalition's Democratic Presidential Forum. Jesse Jackson was on hand to moderate. The candidates talked about crime, the economy, and a national health care plan.
Well, the White House is defending President Bush's visit to a pair of all-male social clubs today as totally appropriate. When he entered the Alibi Luncheon Club this afternoon in Washington, reporters asked him what kind of message his activities were sending to women. He just smiled and waved. Well, there's a big cover-up going on in Kenner, one aimed at making the city look better. A crew from the local painters union spent the day covering up the graffiti spray painted on buildings in the city. The police department is organizing the effort with the help from painters and paint from the Helm Paint Supply Company. The next step is to catch the culprits.
Because now we start off with a clean slate and it'll be easy to spot people who do this. And we are going to actively pursue them, arrest them, put them in jail.
The penalty is 30 days in jail and a $500 fine. Chief Kangemi says police officers will be on the lookout for anyone who tries to mess up this volunteer effort. Well, an abandoned West Bank landfill with a history of polluting wetlands is set to start taking garbage again next month.
Well, the new landfill operator is promising to clean up the mess, but there are still questions as to whether it will do more harm than good. Environmental reporter Cheryl Hickman has the story.
Crews have been working for a couple of weeks preparing the Greater New Orleans landfill for a new life. The 300-acre site, abandoned 7 years ago, is a disgusting mess. Mounds of uncovered garbage reach to the horizon. Toppled trees expose their root systems growing through the garbage. Now, under an agreement with the state, Western Waste Incorporated will reopen the landfill with a plan to clean it up. Over the next 3 years, they hope to take in almost 4 billion pounds of garbage. And with the fees they charge to let people dump here, they'll make enough money to finally close the site properly.
And by closing it, by vegetating and contouring the area, we can control the rainfall and also control any environmental harm that's otherwise occurring or could occur to this site.
St. Charles Parish officials got the state to shut down the landfill in 1985 after they found a huge fish kill on the drainage canal that runs through the landfill and into Lake Catawatchee.
And the fish that were dead went right up to where the water was leaching from the trash dump.
Western Waste is supposed to install a drainage system to stop the runoff. But critics complain the site still won't have safeguards to prevent seepage into groundwater. And environmental lawyer Bob Cuban says that by failing to go after the company that created the problem, Jefferson Disposal, the state is sending out the wrong message.
It encourages people to operate landfills in an unlawful or substandard manner, and then to walk away from it and to leave the problem to the state or someone else to clean up.
Former DEQ Secretary Paul Tomplay signed the agreement with Western Waste during his last week in office. Time will tell whether that was a wise decision or a last desperate effort to clean up a mess. Cheryl Hickman, Channel 4 Eyewitness News.
Western waste officials say they don't know yet where they will get the 2,000 tons of waste they need to put in the landfill every day. Still ahead on Eyewitness News Nightwatch, a Florida hotel becomes the victim of a lethal weapon.
And later, a song from the Dukes of Dixieland.
It was a bold move that paid off almost instantly for one New Orleanian.
I never did a marketing study, as you can tell by the name, but I just added Roots to the front of Chris Steakhouse, so it became Roots Chris Steakhouse.
Locals caught on to the unusual name and soon developed a big appetite for serious steak.
I guess they come in so much because we have spoiled them all rotten, you know, and they like it. We love it, you know. We love taking care of them.
And as the news spread, many customers urged Ruth to begin franchising.
I can see it now. Mickey Rooney's Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. I said, Mickey, the name is really Ruth's Chris. And I never heard from him again.
But franchises did open, and from a handful of tables on North Broad, the company has expanded to 30 locations, a slice of New Orleans that has become the #1 prime steakhouse in the world. We're Louisiana made, Louisiana proud at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and WWL-TV Channel 4.
Why the raft?
Flakes get soggy in milk.
Gee, I don't.
Ah, you Quaker Oat squares are whole grain oats. Sprinkle of brown sugar.
And we stay crunchy in...
Ah, milk!
Quaker Oat squares. You'll love them. From square one.
For a limited time, the Dodge Sales Drive drives on. So hurry to your Dodge dealer now and still own Shadow America for only $69.84 thanks to 1,000 cash back. Still 500 cash back on Caravan, and you can get air at no extra charge. Still up to 2,000 cash back on select Dodge trucks and package savings up to $26.83. Hurry, time is running out.
The family-to-family relationship at Lights Egan began back in the 1800s. Today, the Egan family continues the tradition of providing personalized planning and arranging of funeral services. Experience from a family who knows the meaning of caring.
Political unrest is growing in Algeria, where a new military-backed government has taken over. Security forces fired warning shots outside of mosque in Algiers, and several people were arrested as the new regime cracks down on any opponents. In St. Petersburg, Florida, a 68-year-old hotel was blown up today.
There's the stunt car off to the side.
City officials had planned to demolish the building anyway, but the movie Lethal Weapon 3 is being filmed in St. Petersburg, so the producers decided to use the explosion in the movie. The hotel, by the way, was closed back in 1984.
Hundreds of fruit flies aboard the Space Shuttle Discovery have been dropping like flies. Crew members say more than half of the 400 flies aboard the shuttle for an experiment were killed by sterilizing chemicals accidentally left on the insect containers. And opponents of the idea say exposing food to gamma radiation could be dangerous, but that didn't stop shoppers in North Miami Beach, Florida. They gathered to buy strawberries that had been treated at the nation's first food radiation plant. The radiation is supposed to lengthen the berries' shelf life. A wildlife official in Denver, Colorado today captured a small herd of antelope. The animals escaped from a nearby state recreation area and were wandering the city streets. All of them were in danger of dying in traffic. The herd was relocated at another park. Well, a lion in Australia had to be relocated too this weekend.
Sarbo was taken from his cage to a dental appointment. And as Kate Davies reports, the giant cat got more than he bargained for.
A trip to the dentist is always a harrowing human experience, even for the brave, and the king of the jungle is no exception. Like most 6-year-olds, Sarbo, one of the zoo's 2 male lions, had to be dragged complaining all the way to the chair, fighting against the effects of an anesthetic. It was a rare opportunity for members of the operating team, or anyone for that matter, to put their heads in the lion's mouth and survive. An initial examination found chipped enamel exposing a nerve, causing pain and bleeding. Bandaging or filling the tooth were the options.
If either the nerve doesn't stop bleeding or it shows any subsequent signs, then we'll take the tooth out.
The diagnosis was immediate extraction. But stealing a fang has its compensations. A bit of a cut and polish, a bonus manicure and a medical. After 2 hours of dentistry, the lion-sized 15mm tooth was free. But no doubt when the drugs wear off, the entire zoo will hear from this reluctant cat.
I don't want to be there when he wakes up. I know that much.
Hey, I just got chills watching it, hearing that drill. Ouch. Coming up in sports, a big day for local college basketball teams.
And the Shack Attack is unstoppable in Oxford, Mississippi.
Get ready to climb on board the boats you've been waiting to see at the New Orleans Boat Show at the Superdome. See fishing boats, bass boats, sailboats, and personal watercraft. You'll also find accessories, resort and travel information. Plus, we're bringing the family fun back to boat shows with a mountain trout fishing pond, a hog trough, and fishing seminars. This year's show is 5 days only, so don't miss it. January 29th through February 2nd at the Superdome.
This is a savings bulletin. Soundtrack has launched an attack on high prices. The competition is preparing, and so should you. Proceed immediately to any Soundtrack store and blast $50 off a 19-inch color TV. Act now and pay only $179. Or blast $40 off a VHS video recorder with cable-compatible tuning. Buy now for an incredible $159. And we'll blast interest and payments until May. This is not a test. It's a savings blast. Now at every Soundtrack.
Prodigy makes your PC a powerful tool.
I do my shopping at home, pay my bills.
Prodigy. You gotta get this thing.
Maybe you've already got Prodigy. If you got a PC recently, just look for this Quick Start Kit packed with many popular brands.
All right, Prodigy.
Prodigy connects your home computer to sports, news, travel, even an encyclopedia.
I mean, you can even get the scores before the paper test. While the game's in progress. It's got this educational game that teaches kids geography.
You have just got to get this thing.
Prodigy. You may already have it, packed with many popular computers or in stores everywhere.
If you've looked at trucks lately, you're probably asking, how much truck am I actually getting for my money? Good question. The Nissan truck gives you more than half-ton capacity, as much standard towing power as Chevy S10 and Ford Ranger combined, the most standard horsepower in its class, and really great incentives. Still got questions? Here's a great way to get answers. A Nissan truck. If you try it, you'll buy it. See your local Nissan dealer and put us to the test.
On Monday, we begin our image makeovers. You might win one. Dr. Lutz will be here with his Monday health report, and Frank Davis prepares squid. Join us.
And Doug's in this weekend for Mike Koss.
And we were talking about Tulane picking up the pace again. LSU has been picking up the pace as of late.
Oh, yeah. Started off very slowly, but now they're certainly on a roll. The LSU Tigers were in Oxford tonight looking for their 5th straight win over Ole Miss. There was one major reason for the Tigers' success on this night. Do you guys know what it was?
Oh, Shaq.
Oh, yes, you guessed it right. Shaquille O'Neal. Early action, I wonder how they knew. LSU on the run. TJ Pugh with the lob to the Shaq. Look out below. The Rebels coach Ed Murphy getting just a little heated tonight. He didn't have any luck. 43-30 LSU at the half. Second half, Shaq inside for the slam again. 57-49 the Tigers led. Then it looked like LSU would run away with it. Shaq, who blocked his SEC record-tying 327th shot, got the break, started Clarence Caesar capped it with the jumper. LSU led by 10, but back came Ole Miss. John Harvell with a 3-point jumper. It was only a 4-point game. Coach Murphy lost his cool. Well, so did the Rebels. The Tigers pulled away late. Shaq on the break. He got the slam. 30 points, 14 boards, 6 block shots for the Shaq. LSU a winner 83-73. Out at the lakefront tonight, UNO hosted Jacksonville in Sunbelt play. Tim Floyd's team gunning for a 2nd straight win. UNO's Irvin Johnson with a turnaround jumper, 16 points, 13 boards. Privateers by 13 early. Then on the break, Dwight Mivette to Leonard Bennett for the layup. UNO looking good. Then Luigi Dyer with the jumper. UNO pulled away in the second half. The Privateers are now 4-1 in conference play. UNO 66-58 the final. In their entire 1991 season, the Tulane Green Wave won 15 games. Today, the 21st ranked Wave had a chance to match that total with a month and a half of the season still remaining. This afternoon at Fogelman, Tulane hosted Temple in a non-conference contest. The Green Wave in white. Watch this. Anthony Reed the steal to Greg Gary. back to Reed for the slam, 24 points for Reed on the day. And some nice passing freshman Pointer Williams inside to Carlin Hartman, 45-37. Tulane led it at the half. John Chaney's Owls did not have much luck. Second half, David Whitmore for 3. He added 16 points on the day. The rout was on. One last slam here as Tulane led by as much as 31. Whitmore did the honors. They cruised 99-75 over Temple.
We're just right now, we're on a high, and we're playing real well. We're practicing hard, so I see a lot of success for this team in the future.
I think it was a very significant win for our program. I think it was a very significant win for our kids because of the respect and the quality of the Temple basketball program.
On the board tonight, involving other top 25 teams, top-ranked Duke rolls past Wake Forest to remain unbeaten, as does UCLA, a winner over Stanford today. Third-ranked Oklahoma State passed Oral Roberts, fifth-ranked Kansas, an easy winner over Nebraska. Number 7 Connecticut by 6 over Boston College in OT. Involving an SEC contest, Arkansas, a winner over Kentucky, 105-88. 10th-ranked North Carolina downing Virginia. Also in the SEC tonight, Alabama by 3 over Georgia. And involving a Metro team, Georgia Tech has defeated Louisville 73-65. Locally in the NAIA ranks, Xavier at Suno. Early first-half action, a close game. John Young of Suno will hit the three-point jumper from the corner, but it was Xavier 37-36 at the half. Now, Xavier had an easy time getting the ball inside in the second half and spent plenty of time at the free throw line as things got just a little wild at times. It was Xavier coming out with a victory tonight. The final score, 82-65. In the NBA tonight, the Chicago Bulls win their 13th straight, 114-100 over Houston. Philadelphia, an easy winner over New Jersey. Orlando by 3 over Cleveland. Washington, a winner at home against Phoenix. Miami turning back Dallas 103-101. And Charlotte, a winner by 2 as Johnny Newman carded 41 points for the Hornets tonight. Well, for the most part, the Super Bowl hype is over. Kickoff is set for 5:18 tomorrow afternoon right here on Channel 4. Today, the favored Redskins and the Bills walk through their final workouts. Hoda, a little bit of applause from her. And in his final report from Minneapolis, Jim Henderson reports on how each team is hoping to control the pace of Super Bowl 26.
Super Bowl 26 matches the league's 2 highest scoring offenses. Washington keeps the defense off balance with movement. Buffalo with its play calling pace.
Down in 16, and Kelly going for the downs. Touchdown to Al Edwards.
Washington's been doing the same things for a lot of years. It's, you know, they have some new wrinkles here and there, but they shift to it, they motion to it, they disguise everything they do, but they end up running the same pattern. And the key defensively is to be able to recognize what they're ending up in, what formation they're ending up in, so you can recognize what they're hopefully planning on doing.
The Bills like to turn up the RPMs on offense. With their no-huddle attack and Jim Kelly calling the plays, Buffalo likes to play fast break football. Get it and go.
I tell you, it's a fatigue problem for your defense, especially your defensive line, because they're not used to having to get up and then get back to the line of scrimmage ready to go. And that's a major concern.
Pettibone will try to rotate his defensive linemen more often to keep them fresh. But a group who can't get pulled for a breather is the officials. And Kelly thinks they sometimes slow the pace so they can catch their breath, letting the defense do so as well.
And that's what bummed us out a little bit, because we mentioned it 5 or 6 times, and we heard it crack before, but you're tiring the officials out. I don't buy that.
The Redskins like to control the clock. The Bills like to beat the clock. Whoever gets the pace it wants on Sunday will probably get the Super Bowl trophy. Jim Henderson, Eyewitness Sports.
Also got some tennis to talk about tonight. The men's final at the Australian Open. Jim Courier, don't forget, Len, that's why I'm here to remind you.
Thank you very much.
Jim Courier won the first set over Stefan Edberg 6-3. He trails the second set 0-2.
To Stefan Edberg, right?
Yes, that's right. Just to remind you, Len. I want to remind you.
Thank you, sir.
You bet.
All right. When we come back, Carl says the sunshine is going away.
His cloudy forecast right after this.
Ours is a place unlike any other, a setting rich with history, elegance, a style that comes from traditions handed down for generations. Nowhere else are those traditions more evident than Boatman Funeral Home. Familiar surroundings, impeccable service, and a commitment to making our warmth and understanding affordable to everyone. Boatman Funeral Home, the return of a grand tradition.
This Sunday only, starving artist group Art Expo and Sale. Thousands of beautiful original oil paintings on canvas by talented professional artists. Giant sofa-sized paintings sold elsewhere for hundreds of dollars, as low as $19. Smaller paintings from $7. Absolutely no painting over $49. Professional artist quality at rock-bottom starving artist prices. This Sunday only at the Sheraton Kenner, the Holiday Inn Gretna, and the Ramada Inn Slidell. Giant sofa-sized oil paintings from $19. This Sunday only, 11 to 4.
We're asking people in New Orleans to listen to their noses. Because if there's a gas leak in your neighborhood, it's dangerous, and NOPSI wants to know. Call us, and we'll respond quickly. So take time to stop and smell the roses. But don't forget to listen to your nose.
The editors of Consumer's Digest went searching for their best buys in a sports sedan. What they came back with includes the all-new 1992 Pontiac Bonneville. If you're looking for your best buy, choose the Pontiac Bonneville now and get 2.9 APR GMAC financing for 48 months. Get over $3,000 in finance savings alone. 2.9 financing and soon. So hurry. For your best buy on Bonneville, see Ferretti, Don Bone, Mossy, Levis, Bayou, or Mac Grubbs.
And before we go to weather, we want to say congratulations to two members of the Eyewitness News team. Reporter Mike Ross and Chiron operator Barbara Dahl got married tonight. We want to say congratulations to both of them.
Congrats. Yeah, we heard it was a lovely affair.
Good. Yeah. No wonder they weren't here tonight.
Hey.
And you gave them a nice day for their wedding.
It was a great weekend. Good thing it wasn't last Saturday when they had their wedding with the 30s and the rain and the wind. I mean, that was something that I'd like to forget and hope we don't see again. But tomorrow's going to be a little more cloudy, but we won't have the rain yet until later on tomorrow night. As we check outside, there we go. Mostly cloudy conditions, 48 degrees at the airport, 47 at the Audubon Zoo, 40 at Slidell, 80% the relative humidity, winds out of the southwest at 5, and the pressure is rising at the present time. Now we'll take a peek at the high temperatures across the area for today. Pretty uniform, mostly the mid and upper 60s, a real nice afternoon across much of Louisiana on into parts of Mississippi. But some changes are coming. These high temperatures are going to lower a bit for tomorrow because back in Texas already rain developing through the hill country on into the Permian Basin southward towards the Rio Grande, and this rain is working its way northeastward thanks again to an upper level low across Old Mexico. We've been talking about this type of pattern since the week before Christmas. And again, another one getting ready to move on out, and because of that, the clouds will increase, and so will the chance of rain. Up to the north, it's not in the form of rain, the precipitation. The snow through parts of the Midwest will take you to Chicago and show you what an Alberta clipper can do. A storm system that develops in the province of Alberta, Canada, races on through the Midwest and the northern parts of the country and dumps 1, 2, 3 inches of snow. Chicago, 3 inches of snow with a high temperature of 28 degrees and a low temperature of about 19. Quite cold there. Not a big dumping of snow because of the systems. They move so very fast. Now for tomorrow, another Alberta clipper working its way through the area. So Chicago's going to see some more snow, as well as around Minneapolis, St. Paul. Temperature about 20 degrees in the afternoon with some wind and some snow. Wind chills sub-zero. Through Texas, here comes the rain, the clouds, the increase in cloudiness tomorrow. By tomorrow night, could see some rain moving on into the area with high temperatures a few degrees cooler because of the clouds coming in, about 63 around the area with the colder air well to the north. Warm out in southern California and southern Florida. For tonight, partly cloudy, low temperatures will range from the upper 30s to the mid-40s. Around the lake shore, probably around the upper 40s. Winds variable 5 to 10 miles an hour. Now for tomorrow, increasing cloudiness, mostly cloudy conditions, temperatures in the 60s. Could see some rain sneak in tomorrow night now, so by the afternoon things should be dry, but clouding up, northeasterly winds 6 to 12 miles an hour. Best chance of rain Monday and Tuesday, light rain, the drizzly type precipitation, but temperatures in the upper 50s to lower 60s, so it's not going to be too bad. Winds 6 to 12 knots for tonight and tomorrow, light chop on the area lakes. And the range on the tides right now, just about 1 foot, Gulf temperature 54 degrees. So the clouds coming back, so's the rain.
But the warm temperature is hanging in.
Yeah, hopefully so.
Thanks, Carl.
Thanks, Carl. Still ahead, the Dukes of Dixieland take on the Louisiana Philharmonic Orchestra.
We'll have a sample of the Pops concert right after this.
New Orleans goes to the Super Bowl of savings at Campo. From now till Super Sunday, get super low prices at every Campo store. Like this Zenith 19-inch color TV with electronic tuning, just $198. Or this RCA VHS video recorder with remote control. Save $81 at just $198. Use your Campo card and get 0% financing till May at Campo.
Get a great deal at the Campo Super Bowl of savings.
A lot of supermarkets are starting to talk about everyday low prices. Well, at Schwegman, we've had them for 4 generations.
Check out this ultra-low price on Ultra Tide, just $4.99. We're chipping away your food bill. Look, assorted Lay's potato chips are only 79 cents. And here's another sizzler. Miss Goldie Grade A whole fryers are 49 cents a pound. That's right, 49 cents a pound, only at Schwegman.
Check out Schwegman. Check out Schwegman now.
Here's the deal. Holidays are over, your money's spent, and so are your wheels. That means you need to cut through the hype and get a great deal on a great car or truck. Right now, your local Southern Quality Ford dealers have raised the ante with low prices on F-150, the world's best-selling truck, Explorer, best-selling in its class, and Taurus, one of Car and Driver's 10 best 6 years running. They're all aces. So cash in on a great deal on the world's best and discard those other jokers.
Get ready to climb on board the boats you've been waiting to see at the New Orleans Boat Show at the Superdome. See fishing boats, bass boats, sailboats, and personal watercraft. You'll also find accessories, resort and travel information. Plus, we're bringing the family fun back to boat shows with a mountain trout fishing pond, a hog trough, and fishing seminars. This year's show is 5 days only, so don't miss it. January 29th through February 2nd at the Superdome.
Classical music at the Sanger Theater was replaced by foot-stomping jazz tonight.
The Dukes of Dixieland were part of a Louisiana Philharmonic Pops concert. We leave you with the song South Rampart Street Parade.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
So you've been looking for an affordable sports sedan, but considering prices, you're thinking there's not a lot of sports. or sedan you can afford? Well, think about a Nissan Sentra. A lot of luxury features, a lot of power, and built to last a lot longer than the payments. There's only one thing the Sentra doesn't have, a lot of price. The Nissan Sentra. If you try it, you'll buy it. Save over $1,000 with factory-to-dealer incentives and value option package combined.
The family-to-family relationship at Lights Egan began back in the 1800s when the Lights family operated one of the finest funeral services in the area. Today, 6 generations later, the Egan family continues this tradition. At Lights Egan, you'll receive personalized assistance in the planning and arranging of all your funeral details. Experience from a family who knows the meaning of caring. Lights Egan, family to family since 1854.
When the flu bug is going around, fight back with these specials at your nearby K&B. K&B has Tylenol Extra Strength 24s, gel caps, or caplets, your choice for $2.79. All formulas of Secrets lozenges, 24 count, are $2.19 each. And the 32-ounce bottles of USA Wet Thirst Quencher are 2 for $1 at K&B. So beat the bug with one quick trip to your convenient K&B drugstore, where a K&B charge card can be personally yours.
Richard Gere is knee-deep in murder. Sigourney Weaver is back battling aliens. And Michael Douglas is in over his head. This weekend, Entertainment Tonight is your first preview of the hottest films coming in '92. Then the Mayflower Madam is at it again, teaching classes that reveal her sexy secrets to pleasing a man. Plus, what does it take to make it to Oscar night? Hollywood stars tell their insider stories this weekend on Entertainment Tonight.
Tonight at 10:35 on WWL-TV Channel 4. The Mono Drawing begins February 1st on Channel 4.